Hi, it's Sarah SMUTNY, your host of the Simply Balanced podcast. I'm super happy that you're listening in today. And here in this podcast, we are going to go deep on gut health, anti-inflammatory living, spirituality, self-care, and so much more. Hi, Christina.
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm super happy to have you today here.
Me too.
Yeah, because I talked about it for a while.
We have, yeah. And finally we got it scheduled.
Because Christina, she studied with me as well at IIN. And no, we didn't study together, but you also studied at IIN. I don't think we were in the same year, right?
No, I knew Jenna.
Yeah, that was it, yeah.
I connected with her, but I did.
Yeah, that was it. So anyway, through this world, we got connected. And she's also a health coach. And I'm very much in the light here. And and we were connected, and we lately spoke about sharing a bit together, like here to my audience, the story of Christina, because Christina, you will tell us a bit more later. You also had a quite, I think all health coaches have her own health story, her health journey.
Yeah.
We went through, because otherwise we would not have chosen this path. So yeah, Christina, you also had your journey with IBS. I had also myself an IBS journey, so that's something we have in common.
Yeah.
And so I invited you to share a little bit about it, because I think that's so helpful for women to hear it from other women, how they kind of got a control of IBS, because that's, I know myself, it's really it's a difficult situation when you don't know why you're bloating and why you are like this, and nobody can tell you. How was it for you? Let me how was your story with your IBS? How did you get to know that you actually have IBS? I would be
so I lived when I was quite young. I think I was in the beginning of my 20s. So I struggle with IBS, eventually was diagnosed as IBS, but I struggled with it for so long, and I just didn't know what to do. And it was when it started, it was kind of sudden that I started having this extreme bloating and, feeling very uncomfortable every time I ate something. And then naturally you will start exploring different kind of foods, what is it that triggers this, thing.
Yeah.
And it was just like impossible to figure out. Like it was almost every kind of food that I would react to. So eventually I went to the doctor. They told me it was IBS. And then you were like, yeah, but what can I do about it? Because the only thing they tell you is that, well, you just have to live with it. You have to accept that this is how it is, and there's nothing you can do about it. I think maybe they offer you a solution of like laxative, or I don't know. I don't even remember, but I know that they didn't come up with any like strong solution.
Yeah, that's very. I know it for myself. So it's.
And I know
you feel helpless and alone.
And I know so many women, they struggle with this as well. Like, I would say that 90% of women have some sort of bowel issues, right? Or digestive issues. Maybe they don't have IBS, but many people, they do struggle with digestive issues to a certain extent, right? So I feel like it's so valuable for many women to hear when somebody have found like some solutions, right? Alternative solutions. Because I was like searching for answers for so long, and I tried a lot of different things. There were things that, like just making slight changes to my diet. It definitely helped in the beginning. But then over the years, I just felt like things was coming back, and then, I think it was like 10 years later, I actually had like a much bigger health crash where I was diagnosed with Lyme disease and adrenal fatigue, and I was just, having all sorts of symptoms. And the digestive issues was still like a huge problem at that time. And then, I began to, because that was like the second time where I experienced that the health system didn't really have any answers. They couldn't really help me. And they were like, this is all in your head. But I got that diagnosed from a holistic clinic. So I knew I had to do something myself. So I started researching, and I came across people that have they had explored doing detoxification and living a raw food lifestyle. So I was experimenting with that, and I started seeing so many positive results, and especially also with my gut health. And I found during that process, I also found that often it really starts in the gut, and then it kind of builds in different layers. So when we have more severe health issues, chronic health issues, it actually started many years before that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So it's a good indicator that if you have gut issues, you don't want to leave it, just not, I wouldn't say, like untreated, because there's so many things you can do that's not like a treatment, but it's more like a lifestyle change. But I think it's so important to act on it and not.
It's always a sign that something is not in balance.
Exactly, it's a sign of something that's unbalanced in the whole body, right?
Yeah,
and the gut is so important for brain health or mental clarity, and like so many functions in the body.
Immunity, for happiness.
Or hormones as well. So it's so vital to have a good, strong gut health.
Yeah.
And for me, my journey has really been with raw foods. So a high raw vegan diet has really helped me so much. And I've done over many years, I've done different phases of more, I wouldn't say intensive, because it's still been general cleansing, but it has been detoxification that has been going down in deeper layers of like that toxicity that we have in our gut and, in the body as well. And like a juice fast, for example, I did a long extended juice fast, and that really helped my gut in so many ways. Like I've never felt so good in like 20 years or something.
Wow. Well, and how long was this juice fast?
It was 2 months, actually.
So for 2 months, you didn't eat anything?
No, I just had fresh juices. I had a lot of juices. So the thing is with juice fasting, and this is also something that I recommend some of my clients, that, like when you have had a history of severe gut issues, it's really like the beginning of like when you do that first initial cleansing of the gut, it's so much easier also to maintain a raw food diet as well, because it's so hard to digest all the fibers from the raw fruits and vegetables, or at least the vegetables, because when we have a compromised gut, we don't have the enzymes, we don't have the microbiome and all that. So it really helps to clear things. And then you start rebuilding the body and the gut after that as well.
Yeah. So you always start with the juice fasting in a way to get all the nutrients in, but in an easier digestible way.
Exactly. So a good thing about the juice fast is that my protocol is still having a lot of juices. So you still have like between, 4 and 5 liters a day. So you'll feel nourished. You have the greens and the minerals from the greens, and you have the fruits that are the calories. So you still feel sustained in your energy. You can be active. You can be working.
But you don't have any protein.
But you don't have the protein. So it's not like a building. It's not something you do like for years, right? It's something you do for a shorter period of time. And it's not like, I don't recommend everybody to do it for 2 months. it really depends on your health history and, where you're at, because it can really move the needle a little faster if you're really struggling with your health.
Yeah. So how often do you do the juice fasting now, like per year, for example? What is your way personally with it now?
Well, it's not something that I do. I actually would only recommend one long if somebody wants to do it. Like, you want to do it as long as it takes to get rid of the main symptoms, like the things that you've been struggling with for decades, for example, like if it's gut health or it's other kind of conditions. So you would do one long, and sometimes maybe people would do it too long fast if they felt like they couldn't do it in one go, right? But otherwise, I wouldn't recommend these 3 days, 7 days here and there. Not necessarily. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. You could do it. But I would rather just recommend you to eat a variety of whole fruits and, more of the fiber as well, because we need the fiber.
Yeah.
Below the microbiome. So it's more kind of like a one-off thing, like long juice fast, right?
Yeah. To once and for all clean up.
Yeah.
And how do you, so after this, this first, this period of fasting and also the long one, so you got rid of all the symptoms, or was it then, let's say, solved the issue, or how did you feel afterwards?
Yeah, I would say that it has been a long journey, because I feel like there's also our health really depends on a lot of different things in our life, right? So it's not just the physical. I've also been going through emotional challenges and other life circumstances that were challenging to navigate. So I kind of had a setback after I did heal, the things, with the Lyme disease and all that. I got to a point where I felt really, really good, but there was still something that I worked on. And then I kind of a setback over a few years, but then I always kind of stayed consistent to a certain point with my protocol and all that. And that really helped me, because then you see over time, you just see that new things are kind of dissolving, or symptoms are dissolving, and you see little signs of healing, other things that you have had for a long time.
Yeah.
I felt like it was just the next level in a way, when I did the long juice fast.
Yeah.
That, some of the things that I still couldn't heal 100%, they were just suddenly, gone.
Yeah.
So that was amazing.
Yeah, that's really, truly amazing. Especially, sorry, I have a frog in my throat. Especially when you hear the doctors, telling you have to live with it, and then this is just like a wonder, has happened finally.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is really disheartening that much of the feedback we get from that system is very it doesn't really ignite hope and motivation, right? Because it's often just you're left with, well, there's nothing to do. We don't really have any solutions. They don't even know. They don't even have any answers to what is the cause of it.
Yeah. That's actually the big problem.
Yeah, it is a big problem. And what I find, I guess that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I really feel more people, there are still so many people that have this blind belief in the medical system and the authorities, the doctors and all of that. And I feel it's a shame that there's not a bridge between the alternative holistic world and the medical system, right?
Yeah. But it's coming more and more. It's coming. I have hope.
Yeah.
I once heard
I think you're way ahead.
I had this beautiful sentence once from a functional doctor, actually. What our body created, our body can heal, and that I find so motivating. even cancer. Okay, if it's not linked to some, let's say, toxins you're surrounded by, you know, for example, like, I don't know, chemicals in the water or something like this. Often, mostly, even cancer or all kind of chronic diseases are created in some kind of by the body. They don't come from somewhere, you know. So that's why you really have hope when you hear the sentence that your body can also again repair what.
Exactly, we have the ability to regenerate and restore as well. That it can, you know, like create it. It's so true. I like that.
And you can see it with me and with you. It's possible, and with all the people we work with already, it's so if you are listening to that now and you have IBS yourself, don't give up hope. It's really it's something you can reverse, and it needs time. It's not something also for you, Christina, it took years, so it's not something like you snip with a finger and the IBS is completely gone. It's really a process. It's such a different life feeling. I guess you can also confirm that. For me, when I had IBS, I was basically always in the stress modus, because I was always constantly thinking about food, how I will react. Will I be tired? Will I be bloated? Can I wear this? Can I don't wear this? And basically always being in the anticipation modus, you know, and worrying the whole time and stressing about food. So food had lost all the magnetic beauty, let's say, of nourishing, of fun, of joy, completely. Or for me, it was only a sort of stress. And maybe you can relate when you're listening to that with that. And now it's back to the joy mode for me. I don't know, is it also for you? I guess, Christina? Did it change?
Like, there's no, like, this constant over-analyzing, you know, which foods to eat, which foods not to eat. And also, as you say, like, I think that's a big one for women as well. Like, what can I wear? I can't wear this because then, you know, I'm going to feel bloated. I'm going to look like I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
That was something that I really struggled with as well. Like, and especially because I felt so uncomfortable. It was to an extent where I would want to lie down. Like, I felt like so.
Just hide and lie down.
Yeah.
That was my modus.
So it's actually like something that feels very limiting on your well-being and your like feeling good in your body, right?
Yeah, at the end, it impacts, at least with me, it was like this, and I see it with a lot of people. It impacts every single area of the life. The work, because you don't feel good in meetings or in any all social life is impacted. The relationship, even the intimacy is impacted with your husband or partner, and the way how you react to your kids. Like, everything is impacted at the end. The way you dress, as you said.
Yeah, it really is the overall life quality that gets so impacted, right?
Yeah. And so when you work with clients, do you have most of your clients IBS, having IBS, or is it like a kind of mix of all?
A little bit of mix. I've actually worked with more people that have things related to their energy, and that could be so many different conditions, but people that have chronic fatigue, adrenal fatigue, but that really struggle with, you know, like just feeling really low, and that is impacting so much like their well-being and their whole life and other things, right? It impacts our whole life, all areas of life, right? When we don't feel good.
Yeah.
Especially when it's to an extent where we feel exhausted all the time, and that could even be the bloating all the time, and struggle with, you know, what kind of diet should I eat, right? What kind of food can I eat when I have these issues? If you have health issues.
Yeah, because that's the second one, also, that you start to read so much on the internet, at least I did. And they read about keto, then you read about that, and then you try for a week that, and then it stresses you again, and then you go back to the paleo, all that all called. And at the end, you are so confused, stressed, and frustrated that you basically block, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you do nothing anymore.
Not always. So it really helps, and I've noticed that in my clients as well. Like, it gives such a new hope and motivation when they can see, okay, I can do these little changes, and I can actually start seeing there's some progress.
Yeah.
Then they start to see like the potential of how good they can feel in the future as well, right?
Yeah. When actually the first things.
Yeah, like so exciting, because that's something that I was longing for, in the beginning, because I was researching for a long time before I really started finding some answers as well.
Yeah. So yeah, just go with the little changes, and I would really advise everybody to get help from a nutritional health coach, or anybody like who's working holistically, because it's so helpful to have a guidance.
Yeah,
it's a shortcut. It goes faster. Let's say it like this. You, us both, we did it by ourselves, but of course it takes longer because you have a lot of trial and error. So that's the difference. Of course, it's possible also alone.
Yeah, you can do. You can always find people, but the people that have gone the way before you, sometimes you can skip those trials and errors, right? If you work with someone who have found some solutions, right?
Yeah. And you're also starting soon a podcast, right? You told me.
Yeah, I am. I'm so excited. I'm gonna start my new podcast actually in 2 weeks. So in December, beginning of December, I'm gonna launch it.
And the name already.
Yeah, it's called Time to Thrive. So my brand name is Thyme Emerald, and yeah, the podcast is called Time to Thrive. So
and do you write it with TH, or do you write like time? Time to Thrive.
Yeah, just to play with the wording. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, and it's also something you can remember well. Fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Nice. So I'm really excited about sharing my own journey, and it's going to be like a mix of healing and detoxification and raw foods, but also I'm going to include something about personal inner work and healing, emotional healing as well, because that's also a big part of going through a healing journey as well.
Yeah,
for most people.
Yeah. So, I will put the link to the podcast of Christina in the show notes, and make sure you listen in then to her podcast, because now we are recording this now in end of November. So when the podcast will be live and you are listening to it, then her podcast will already be live, so you can directly check it out. And do you have any other, of course, your Instagram? People can also reach you over that. I will also put it in the show notes. And do you have any last message, or let's say something you want to share with the audience, where you say, okay, this is something I still want to for sure share with them?
Well,
like a learning.
If I give a little tip that can help with digestion, and if you have some gut issues and digestive issues, I mean, you could have different symptoms when you have IBS. I know some people, they struggle with, they can't digest. Some people have other symptoms, but I know that one of the things that I still use today is like for digesting, like if you've been eating something and you feel like you're not well, you can make a shot with ginger, apple, and lemon. And I feel like the ginger is so It's just working every time.
Okay, so you just put ginger, apple, and lemon in a juicer, basically.
Yeah, and you make like a really strong shot. Lots of lemon and lots of ginger.
Yeah, amazing.
And that's going to ensure you're going to go to the toilet and there's going to be no issues of not going.
Yeah.
Actually, if you
drink that then only in these moments, or do you drink that more regularly?
Yeah, I think it's something people should do daily.
Yeah. Yeah. And what are your thoughts about apple cider vinegar?
It's not something I use it occasionally in dressings and salads and things like that, but it's not something that I use
as a medicine.
No. I feel like for me, I've been, testing a lot with like fermented foods in general. And, like apple cider vinegar is also a fermented kind of liquid, right? So I don't feel like it's been helping me so much. I try to stay away from it a little bit, like not having it too often.
Yeah.
But I think it's very different. Like some people, they really feel like they benefit from it. So
yeah.
It's something that we have to test ourselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes like it's not everything that works for everybody.
Yeah. It's so individual. Yeah. That's a beautiful last message, I think, to get just aware that we are all so different. And for example, what works for you, like the raw food, doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
completely different path. So yeah, everybody is so different.
Yeah. I think the most important thing is that we have to test different things and find out what works for our body as well.
Yeah, and also raise our intuition. That's actually something that I try to do a lot with my clients, to get their intuition again back up, because we all have it, but we often don't listen to it, or it's not trained enough.
Yeah,
and our body, or our intuition tells us already so much. And once we start like tuning in,
exactly,
we find our path. Not only with food, but also in life.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's another episode about intuition. Okay, so thank you, Christina. It was amazing to share that you shared with us your story. And everybody, make sure that you listen in our new podcast. And maybe then we will have another episode in the future.
Well,
or something else.
And to connect again, and I'm happy to share.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Sarah. Bye.
Bye.